Okay. Let's talk. We're not going to get anything really done in the stream, but it will be fun. Um, today's a Binyamin. Yeah, we this is just a that's just a 3x4 Gridforge piece idea. So we were doing a little vote on the uh, secret Discord channel, Friends of Benjaminin, which you can get by joining the tribe or printing a Benjamin. You don't have to pay. Uh, if you need a background, if I click this, what will happen? Will it do something? Will it hurt me? Oh, it's just a bouncing BB. Okay. I thought that was going to do something hilarious. And the K and the S are just sketches. We were considering making a lovely new ship for March. It's a tiny ship. Ignore the fact it says February. I was supposed to have done it in February. I mean, for February, but then Ben had something ready, or Albin did, and I was like, why should I do anything? And I did a chair instead. And this is going to be kind of like a Type S-ish shape with a little front area, and there's going to be a cockpit here. And this one's going to be the same idea. It's going to have, ignore that that was a test shape I didn't love. And this is going to be, the chairs were cool. I agree. Thank you, Shergal. We're doing CAD training. This is not CAD training because this is not CAD. And I don't specify limits or whatever they're called in CAD that you're supposed to do to control stuff. I just I'm like, even when I made this point, I just took a vertex and just did bevel, and I just beveled to where I was happy. I guess I could do it this way. And I'm gonna go check the results on the Discord. It says that my stream's bitrate is terrible. It says it's 2700, which is horrible. It also says like that I'm currently doing something wildly different. I don't know why it's so off. Hmm. So there are already 2 votes for K and 5 votes for S, which is they're just letters that are not A and B. I was told not to do A and B anymore because people have their favorites of A, B, C, and D. My favorite's C. If I don't know the answer, just put C. And yeah, I actually remember there was a teacher who made a test where every answer, the correct answer was C, and I got a 100. Oh, I wasn't worried that it was odd. Hmm. So let me ask you guys. Let me put in a actually I need to have that so you guys can make your vote. Let me give you an opportunity to vote for how do I do this? How do I run a poll? Start a poll. It's right here. I'm gonna do what ship profile? K or S? Okay. If you're wondering what the tribe is, it's just a monthly like Patreon kind of thing, but it's done through My Mini Factory. There's a link in the description. I want to see how close this is to the other um mm, you had the lasagna? There was no lasagna. Boo, but I gotta show you guys something. Um, I make a really good mac and cheese. It is so good. And um, it was, it's a very old recipe. It comes from my, in Swedish, I'm going to use English and then, no, I'm going to use Swedish first because min, far, far more. Yeah, far, far more. But I also, my father's father's mother, my great grandmother on my of my grandfather on my father's side. Hmm. I've never watched Airplane. I heard it's hilarious, but I've never watched it. It looks like S is winning by, it's pretty interesting how, I guess K is a little just too boring because, like, here's how I imagine K. I'm gonna just start sketching it. It'll be like a little roundy booble. Oh, my pen. I want to talk about this for another, keep wasting people's time. My pen, let me turn the light. The tip fell off and I had to order new tips. So I can't use my, I had to draw several things with my mouse. And I'm just turning on lots of, what's the word? I'm turning on lots of smoothing and stabilizers when I draw because I had to draw for another client. I imagine something like this and it would have like a boxy end here. I know I'm doing chicken, which you're not supposed to do, but this is kind of like how I imagine this one with the big wide window to read a book through. And then, I mean, I think I've seen clips of that. And then there would be like little the person navigating. Yeah. Wait, there's tips hidden in the pen? If that's true, Custom Blink, how do I get them out? Because I don't know if I believe you, but I also am willing to bet because there was a pen that did do that, but I don't think this is it. This is the Renaissance 5.2 something 5.22. It's the old one with the uh thing on the end. I'm sure what, yeah. Oh, I accidentally turned it on. The neat part is it works without the tip. Oh, no, it doesn't. It does not work with the tip. My bad. I thought it did. And then I would imagine like on the back will be like little thrusters, like two little thrusters. If I do this one though, I'm thinking maybe like it's gonna be some let's get this. It's gonna be one big window, but not sorry, not one big window. It's gonna be three side windows. This is gonna be very much like an Erebus, but it's only gonna go to like right here, and then it's gonna go straight from that to it's gonna have uh two engines, but the engines are gonna be on the bottom only, and it's gonna rest on the engine. This is kind of the idea of what I wanted to do. And it will have no top engine of any kind. It would have like some kind of shape here. I'm not sold on exactly how it's going to be, so don't treat this as gospel. This is a little too thin. Hmm. The tip just pops out. And then it would have like a, yeah. And this part would be actually thinner as it reached this point. Because the only parts that are full height are these. This is a full height. This is actually almost completely flat. Almost. Just a little bit of a curve to it. Though it would be interesting to have it be completely flat. That would be unique. And then I can't see the thing unless I do this. So maybe like that. And then, I don't know. Let's go. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to do this, and Ben's going to like talk to me later about it and says, John, don't hurt our channel. Don't hurt my channel any further, and stop doing that. And then there'll be like one little. This is still S. This is still K. I just realized I'm kind of drawing close to the. I've tried everything to get that pin apart except for any real effort, Custom Blink. But don't worry, it's like $9 for 3 tips. And I could have grabbed a surface tips because it uses the same tips as the surface pin, But they want so much at Best Buy. I looked it up online. I could just get them shipped to me for so much cheaper. And I was trying to avoid Amazon. I was going to say I'll buy it on whatever that. I'll buy it on their own official website. And they're like, "Please don't. We don't want you. We have everything is sold out. Go away." That's pretty much the feeling I got from them. And this would have like something like that. Just some. These are both some very basic. This might even put like a window in here and here because it's a more. I don't know what kind of spaceship this is. Hmm. I can't believe you didn't print your own tips. I don't know what do. It keeps telling me, it keeps bothering me and saying your stream's current bandwidth is lower than the recommended one. So if it looks like garbage when you're watching this, I'm sorry. I set it to 2400 because that's what I'm used to. That's what I have to stream at to keep my laptop happy. Lately I've been getting I'm going to end this poll now. Last chance to vote. Do you want a NAS or a K? Make your choice. This will be what's in the stream, the stream's content. Ooh, I like doing that when it's all messed up. Hurry! The main part of the video is a little sketchy. Should I stop the stream and restart it at a higher bit rate? Because I could do that. It won't auto end the stream if I do it. It will just give you a little blackout for a moment. Because if it's that bad, I can definitely increase it. Hmm. These lines are so hard to read. Let me get a theme. I wish there was a way to control the, oh, there is. Oh, no, there isn't. I thought there would be like a way to make the wires thicker. I don't like thin wires. I intentionally don't get jokes because literalism defeats jokes and sarcasm. Hey, Jeff, you missed the poll, which you can vote in. I'm going to end the poll. Based on, wait, how do I see the results? Okay, there were 7 votes with 6, I'm guessing? Is 6 out of 7? 6 out of 7? Yeah, that's 85 and 7. I absolutely love this feature, and I didn't know about it until someone showed me in Toys. I don't know if you guys can see. I don't think you can, but when you do Alt Space, it opens up and just start typing, and there's plugins. I can do like equals to do math, question mark for a search, at for another power tool utility, a dot for a program search, a colon for Windows registry. It's so, and like bang for managing Windows services. Oh, and you also do like you can do like ping or other ones by doing like you do greater than sign and then do like ping and it gives you the output of that. It's Blender. Blender and Blender. I only use Blender because I refuse to. Oh, wait. That's there. Is that better? I think that this one is better to show the top part. I just don't think about it. I could also make it show everything by making it slightly smaller. Let me do this. Maybe this will be better. I mean, it's not great, but then I can also make the webcam bigger. Hmm. So it looks like S1, which if let me try to remember. I believe this one was K and that one was S. So yay, we have our winner. Oh, let's do let me change that because I actually agree with you. It's a little hard to read when I'm working on this sometimes. I'll go to preferences and slightly change it. I'll do no, I'll do view. I'll do viewport, and I'll manually set it. There, it's perfect now. I think I would like it to go darker on the viewport, make the grid less noticeable, but don't worry. I don't think so. You guys are just being silly. I'm gonna set the grid to be less annoying because I almost never look at the grid unless I have to. And I'm gonna set the wires to happier. No, this is a lot of effort. I'm really lazy. So let me just go back. For just now, we'll set them to a happy color. Something that contrasts. There, is that better? It's a little too bright for me. Because this is actually where I would want it to be, but is this easier to see? Fine. You got me. You win today. Where are you at? Oh man. I don't use the grid. I do use the grid, but I don't like the floor. Maybe I do use the floor. I don't remember what I do. There. You win today, people. You've already won. Rejoice in your whatever it is. You've beaten me. I'm actually Heaven Mace. Can we talk about that for a moment? Um, Shergal, can you, if you don't mind, I'm not asking, I'm not commanding you. If this is just a request, put the Gridforge campaign link in. I was very pleasantly surprised by Gridforge. Gridforge is this method of making tiles that fit within a very certain they're replaceable and exchangeable, so you can customize inserts. Uh, Games Art reached out to me, the Philip of Games Art, who makes other ships. He wants to use Gridforge. We have Darkshire Designs. We have Ian of Dragon's Rest, who's doing Gridforge. We have that blasted Samaflange, who is selling Gridforge stuff and selling Gridforge stuff in a way that we normally don't sell. Like he does like cobblestone and a few other things. Uh, and we're also unleashing on a tribe soon-ish. Actually, Ben hasn't released that publicly, so I'm gonna leave it private. I was gonna say, make what you love. If you want the round front, then make it. Yeah, well, it's gone up uh, in price. I want to talk about some dimensions that are just to maintain open lock compatibility. This is going to be my little, let me rename it. This block here represents the entire interior where it needs to fit. And I believe it's 2.5, sorry, grab 2.54, which is what open lock standard is, times 2, which I think I could have just done 5.08, but yeah. This block has to fit in the space for this ship. And I also need to bring in Typhon. One moment. Not Typhon. There's Erebus? Maybe it's Erebus? On all the ones, I redo quite a bit of I do my own version of all the files. Uh, no, I'm referring to, I need to get to the Erebus as we made it for scenes. I think it's scenes. Where is it? Yeah, so I redo my parts. I don't know if you guys can see this because I think it only, let me see if I can do properties. Is there a way to make it auto switch? I don't know. Is there a button that can make it to where, let me see. Yeah, I'm sharing just Blender for a reason. Um, I want to use, I want it to, I think there's a way to make it to where it switches to what I want. But I don't know how to do it, so I'm just gonna do it this way. I have a lot of private stuff on my thing that I don't want generally going into the public. I'm very nervous about that. So I actually modify a lot of these parts, like even things you don't think are modified. I've changed these. I've changed this part. I changed how this part connects. There's a little extra bump here. I think you can see what I'm showing now. I've done lots of little things that are my things. So we're going to take this. We're also going to bring in, I think we have a scene with someone sitting. Because I do want this space to be usable. I just had to make sure. Uh, where is Maddie Walker? This is supposed to be the same area. We're just doing this for, I hope that doesn't bring anything else over. I would normally make a library part, but I'm really lazy. Like, I think if you got to know me better, you just realize how lazy I am. And then I need to switch this to this one. There you go. And this is going to intentionally, this will not be this wide. So let's just do an Alt-P. Oh, let's do Alt-P keep transformation. And we're going to do, for just my testing, I'm going to do it like that. It's going to be a 0.7. It's just be a little smaller. And the chair will go in the middle. Like there. I mean, where there's currently a port, and there won't be these side pieces instead. Well, maybe there will be. Now we're going to we're going to do seated, Maddie Walker. I do something kind of strange when I'm working on STL, when I don't want to stress my computer out, and that is I immediately at a decimate and just set it to like a really low number. Like perhaps as low as I don't care about actually having it be it has to be close. It's currently frozen because I fiddled with when you touch one thing, it messes with everything else. I like the idea of people, not the actual people, which is a great quote. Make sure you put that in my funeral on my John. He likes the idea of people. And guess what? We're already at the 16. We're already at the 32-minute mark. That's a nice round number. Let's set this to way less. We don't need all these polygons being wasted on my poor 4050. I ordered. No, I have a 3050. I don't know why I said I had. Likes the class, not the objects. Oh, custom link. It's 32 is a nice round number. I don't know what you're talking about. In my world, it's a nice round number. Because it's this, right? Based on how, well, I count as pinky as lowest and the other pinky as highest. But I guess it does depend, because if I did it this way. No, I always do it. I always do it facing away from me. See, it's the idea of a person. There's something very unnerving about looking at low poly people. I think I need to do like an auto smooth. There you go. I don't know what it is, but it just looks unnerving. And then we need to do one more area. We need to do, oddly enough, this is going to be changed. I'm not, this will still be the same height. It'll still be a step up. We also need Maddie. Why do we have as our T pose? That's weird. There's so many weird poses. I did not appreciate how many poses of her are like in bizarre positions. I'm not a person who likes that kind of stuff. I perhaps have located the minimum number of polygons necessary to trigger the Uncanny Valley. Yes. And then we're going to do decimate. How many triangles are you? That should be enough. You don't need any more triangles than that. You always. I have a 3050 Ti laptop with only 16 gigs of RAM because at the time I thought it would be enough. It's not enough. I constantly run out of RAM. Even inside, like, sometimes I have like browser just stops rendering tabs because it just runs out. And I don't mean GPU VRAM, but other. It just has. I can watch Windows switching the RAM out to another page or whatever it does. Because did you know 32-bit devices, while they had a 3 point something gig limit, whatever it is it actually 4 gigs or is it like people correct me, it's somewhere 3 point something, or maybe it is exactly 4, depending on how you count the numbers. Maybe it was truly 4 gigs if you count base 2, and it's like 3 point something if you count base 10. 3.7. Thank you, custom link. Oh, it was based on if you did 1000 or 1024. Maybe that's what it was. It was some weird thing they did. Yeah. Oh, thank you. See, this is where I don't know stuff. Custom Blink and Shergal corrected. I appreciate it. The but here's the part that's interesting. There were several specialty Windows versions, Windows Server during the 32-bit era that could address up to, I think they said it was some number significantly higher. Uh, they could, and I think it was like nearly like 64 gigs or something. It was uh, it was still 32-bit, but Windows could manage memory, and each program was limited in how much memory it could use to the 3.7 gigs. But Windows itself could use more than that. And it would have a system of management to go through, and someone was trying to explain it, and I kind of watched a little bit, and then I got bored and left. But there was a Windows Server edition that could take higher than 3.7 gigabytes. Mm-hmm. And someone can correct me, you know, or provide the correct one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was neat. Oh, okay, the physical address size in Windows NT was always designed to be 64-bit, but had to be mapped to physical hardware. Well, I'm saying that there were actual real servers with a specialty version of Windows that could address it, and work with it. And I thought that, I didn't know that that was a thing. Okay. The reason we're doing this is because I want to make sure I'm creating a cage that defines the absolute minimum space for the thing. It's helping me know how far can I go, and I want to be able to have area for detailing. So I'm giving myself 0.5 all the way around as the minimum, and I might use up more than that. I just need to make sure that their head doesn't get chopped off like that. So that's as far as I can technically go, which is less than I thought it would be. This is very much the planning phase. I have to somehow turn this very hideous box into a shape that is appealing. And we're not going to continue modeling on this box, but this is the minimum. I have to make sure that my shell is outside this at all times. In fact, nope, this is the true. If anything punches through, or if any part of the exterior hole enters this space, I have a problem. And I would prefer yeah, I know I'm talking crazy right now. I'm just thinking, if any part enters this sphere, any part of the hole, at any time enters this, then you can't fit things into it. So like wall details, if there are going to be some wall details on this back wall, like this one, they have to be, this is as far as I can go forward, but they can go back into the space. Like I can go and do ridges. Just slap some booleans onto it. No. Now, I'm a little afraid of keeping multiple copies of Blender running and keeping the stream going, because I have no idea how much memory I have. I even switched to make sure that my computer wouldn't be struggling too hard. I made it to where the encoding is being CPU bound, and I've set my... Oh, I actually got some custom... Not custom, but I found that someone made a control thing for my exact laptop, so I don't have to go through ROG anymore, the awful Armory Crate software. and it lets me control my fan curve and stuff without being plugged into a thing. And I also can set I could set limits on the wattages of my computer and but not my GPU. My GPU, I can set the CPU to as low as 1 watt of energy going to it. But that is fun. Watching typing on a 1 watt processor with other stuff running in the background is an exercise in frustration. I'm going to bring in this shape. Where did it go? Oh. I don't know why it's not centered. Oh, it is centered. I just didn't notice it wasn't. It was. It does make you think a little bit more on what you're going to do. So, interestingly, this has less space in this open area. We're going to actually have to be a slightly different angle than theirs. That's not my concern, Doug. My concern is running OBS, 2 copies of Blender, and the browser stuff on 16 gigs on a 3050 that has been having some thermal issues even after I cleaned it. Because like right now, I'm still at 53, which is much better than it has been for a while. But I can feel the keyboard is getting kind of warm. But yeah, and that's true. It's not running Windows as well. We're going to just explore this for a bit. I want this look. Oh, don't be mean to the human. You gotta excuse them. They're a bit of jerks. I understood what you meant and intended. So that's kind of the shape I want. I do not want to just take the existing shapes and just make them identical. I want this to look a little bit more unique, a little bit like it was a designer who saw an Erebus once and said, I'm going to make a miniature version of that. So I need to be careful how much I borrow. It's also because it's so much shorter, it can't afford to do the, it's going to be something like that. I know I could set my position of transform. I just don't think to. Yeah, so it's kind of like that. And then I'm going to take these. I'm just going to shrinky dinky them down. That feels closer to what we're trying to go for. We're not using these parts at all in the end. So it is correct up front. So the angle is slightly different between the two. I'm not a raspy fanboy, but don't tell my raspberries that said that. Longo and Datia, Longo and Datia. I like to just that's a very, once you start squishing the shape, it starts taking on a very interesting look. We're going to take this shape and we're going to thicken it. Where is it? I don't remember where it is. Is it solidify now? Oh, it does not work like I thought it would. Is it Alt S now? Oh, that's why it's not doing what I thought it would. It's not actually manifold. I love the uh, whatever this is, the 3D print analyze tool. So now that is, yeah, it's gonna be, this is gonna look a little ugly. I'm just letting you know. What's going on? What is this? Oh, that was a test shape. I need to get rid of it. What's this shape? I can get rid of that too. Let's actually fix this one. There we go. Then we'll shift it, and this will be the exterior minimum. It's not the true minimum. It's just a way for me to think about and work on this without being afraid. Even thickness. Why is it? What is going on? Why is that not right? There we go. That's still incorrect. There we go. That's close enough. We're not going to use this shape. It's just to help us know that we are getting too close, and we're going to go to so. If we see this shape pop through, we've gone too far. Thank you for putting up with me. This is going to be a long, slow process where I look at it and think about it and plan it out. And for some reason, there's like hearts popping in. I don't know what the hearts are about. Oh, it actually kept. That's so convenient. I didn't know that's how it worked. Does it do the there was someone who taught me this, uh, that you can turn on this color that shows up for it. I think it was custom link. We have part of our box. Let's just have some fun. I didn't expect to get very far at all in this stream, so the fact I even have the beginnings of an idea is I'm pretty happy with. And we're doing something you can't do in the normal mode. Let's do in if you were someone who is used to. Oh, I think I can get away with less space used. I think I can. See, I can get away, and I should have done this. Like, I can get down to about right there and be fine. We're going to do a slightly different connection than we did before. So this should be an acceptable shape. Boom, boom. So they go down to an impossibly thin section. Yeah, set preferences, theme, 3D point, face for orientation front to transparent, parent. You can enable face orientations in the overlay drop down, and it doesn't mess with everything as badly. I do have this set, the clip start set a little too high, and it causes little glitches. Because I like to zoom in sometimes way too much. And I think it just runs out of space. Why can I not see this when I'm in edit mode? This is weird. There's clearly faces. I mean, there's clearly verts happening. Why can I not see them? Let me turn on stats. Oh, there you go. I had Alt H on. I had hit on H on. This does something where it goes really nice and thin. And the problem is we cannot go that thin. So we're gonna have to change the shape a little bit to accommodate for that. Because the cockpit is, it's not that short. I think I have to stretch it out by like just maybe like that much more. Just so I can go down to something. Oh, fine. I'll keep it to the length sorry, custom link. I'm just thinking. I'm trying to keep this look of this, well, the idea of it, but it goes out so much further before it, well, farther in this case. I could lose some of the space in the back. I could make it do a 3x3. And then move and there isn't that super thin point here and here. I also can just have my own fun and say, well, this is the new shape. 0.5. I think it's just going to be a little bit less pretty than I wanted it to be. And let's set this to edges. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing just this moment. I'm seeing how I feel about something. I could have sworn there was a built-in way to lock to the I forget what it is. There's a built-in way in Blender to make it to where this falls wherever this plane what would land at. But I can't remember what it is. I don't want to just fake it by just like slowly moving it. This is a knowable thing. Well, they can't go at any bigger angle because of the ideas problem. Well, you know what? Before I say that, let's talk about what you're saying. You're saying they can be at a greater angle going up, right? Because that is true. I am not locked to... That was my minimum. Right? So I could technically do this and be fine. Because that's not a requirement to be that way. It's just it does allow it. Right? I think we're thinking the same way. And technically this doesn't have to be... Let's play with this for a moment. I can't mess with it this way. Can I go this way? Oh, I can. So if I'm willing to do a slightly more... I can go a little bit tighter here. Do a stronger angle on the windows. Because in the end, I am doing my own thing. And I can bring this in some more. This is great. I'm glad I'm bothering you guys. Makes it easier on me. Now, there's a tiny problem in that I can't... I'm going to have to, like, first create... This shape here is exactly the minimum, I believe. 5.08. So I have to hit that at that point. But I'm allowed to do quite a bit in between. Like, I think I can hit lower early because... And the only reason I can is... I mean, that'll look terrible, though. This is still technically correct. I just have to find a way to hide that beautiful angle. In fact, I would probably do it more like this. I would stretch this out here. Because we're working on the... We're currently doing it to where... If we instead I don't like how I did this. Oh, that's a Gridforge tile. That was throwing me. We're actually nearing the end of the stream already because I am very slow at doing this. But if we go to here and we make this a new thing. What does that give us? And that will be the area for the bevel before it goes to this shape here. The only problem I have with this is that you can't currently... I want to angle this, but I also know I'm not allowed to because this is the minimum from here to here of a wall in here, and I don't want to lose space. But I think I'll have to accept that as a compromise. I think I have to accept that but we're going to control where that hits. So it's going to be something like this. And then this can continue from that point. And I know that's an Ingon, because it's two ways to solve it. It's a bad Ingon. So can I successfully be okay? Let's set this as a new face. I'm just seeing where this sweeps to. How many tiles will we get to keep if we do this? I am assured that this to this is the same angle. We would have... We lose it. You couldn't put full heights in the first two tiles, but you could have full heights on the back two tiles. And that might have to do, and then you can provide for people like some sleeping accommodations that have the cutout for the hull shape. Before you say, oh gosh, this is really hideous, don't worry, you're correct. And then we will have... We actually don't need this shape anymore. This particular one is going to go out to about right here. And we're going to do some sketches that are going to be... they're going to have some fun here. This will be the top of the thing. It's not a true half height. It's closer to like... Let's bring in... this would be the absolute minimums we're giving to this space inside. We might be able to give more, but I think we're going to have to do details, etc. And I believe this is actually safe to do. Oh no. This is not a safe shape. Yeah, see, they're on different planes, which is not great. But if I gave it to it would take to go all the way to there to work. So let's give fades in the background. Oh my goodness, fold out beds. I love you, Timothy. You understand my love of everything that is movable. And I'm sorry, this stream is going to just take forever because I'm just fiddling. Oh no, that's it's there you go. Okay. There was a way of doing this fast that I never learned it, and now it's too late. They don't teach it anymore, and I'm sad about it. I want to project face project. Face. I want this to, where does this hit this? They don't teach how to use rotary phones anymore. What is that supposed to mean? What do you do? What does that mean? How do I make this line up with this face here that I just made? Because that's what I want to do. Maybe it's edge? Was that it? No, it's not it. It's not volume. How do I make this face land on this one? Oh. Vanessa beds that leaders from the wall and put away. Oh. If anyone knows how to do this, please tell me, because I just don't know. See, that doesn't give me what I need either. That doesn't give me what I need either. This is such a frustrating, subdivide the top edge, then you can align to the vertex. I think I actually have a TinyCAD extension that I just don't use very often. Oh, it is. So it is a TinyCAD. So I select this, then I do TinyCAD, extend edge to face, and then it gives me the actual, which is ridiculous. But that worked. Now this shape is perfect. Well, there. I think that's. Oh no, that's still wrong. No, it's not wrong. There you go. That shape is correct. That is the same angle. I didn't know what you were suggesting, and I completely believe you and trust that you knew what you were saying or doing. I just don't know what I'm doing. So thank you for your patience with me. We're setting up the minimums for uh, the whole right now for the interior. So the interior will be guaranteed this space. And while we don't have a true complete size here, this is an interesting loss of space, but it's not that bad. I wouldn't hate that. Let's bring in the sleeping position. I hope it's nothing weird. Maddie Walker was given way too many weird poses, and several of those I vehemently was like, no. And Ben was like, it'll make more money. So, yeah, this is a normal pose. But, like, she has a lot of weird ones. I know I keep saying that, but it does bug me. Let's decimate. Which corner is odd to you? Because my intention is to have it like that. I just forgot to triangulate that. I'm thinking I'm actually going to reduce the Gridforge size. I think that it's going to be the Gridforge is going to have a 2x3 and a 2x1. And it will, so it's going to lose this one. There you go. That's where you can do Gridforge objects, but we will give people several options that will work in that space. Like, I think we'll give them, it's not going to be a dead space you can't use. Why is my computer struggling right now? It's actually frozen. It's frozen. Not frozen, frozen. If you can't see or hear anything, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there. Oh, I still had this as a modifier. That would explain. I thought something else had gone wrong. Okay, good. It's just I couldn't do anything for a moment. Blender froze. Which does happen when I forget to turn on a CPU grinding. Like, that's completely usable space for a bunk. And let's just pretend there's two of her. Like, you could fit two people in that whole space. That would be on the floor. I forgot. The Gridforge actually there. So the top person will be a little more crammed. Stream bitrate might be low. Every now and then it sounds like Swedish. Yeah. Jag har Amerikansk. But I think that's a reasonable sacrifice to keep that nice shape and to allow us to go to a nice thin, because we're going to be able to go to a thin point and then jut out. And then we'll jut out from, we'll just, so the whole point of this, or why we did it this way, I think we're going to end the stream at this point, is we can do a itty bitty little thing here. Then we can do this, get within 0.5, and then we will go out to like that. And then this will go, is there a line tool? Because I would love a line tool. There is, okay. Let me redo that. So this will go just within 0.5 of it, which is the minimum, and then it will go out at a much lower angle. still an angle of some kind. Then it will go up to here, and then it will go out again to like right there. And this small craft will always be cramped. Yes, is true. And go for lower bunks. The mattress can be built into decking, as far as anyone knows. I am going to make use as much space as I can, but we just barely have. I think that shape is a reasonable approximation. Now, unlike the, we could actually, let's talk about this for a moment. We are not limited to, we could start a point here and then mirror it back and then go in like this, and then have like a flat out of some kind of like this, which could evoke that feel of the Erebus. In fact, we can even do like just, let's set up a poll real quick and then we'll end the stream. Because what you pick will be what I'm going to work on. So this is your chance to be heard again. Let's try this shape. Okay, so let me go to grease pencil. No, it's actually view. I forget. And we're going to call this, we're going to give it a nice, I need to make sure each color is visible. Okay. There are several options. We can go for this note style. And then I hope this doesn't get too confusing. Let's borrow this object instead of trying to do it. Because I want to hear people's opinions. You matter to me because I have no idea why. Okay. This will go out to maybe like here. And then it will go in. This is not a definitive thing. It's just a... And then maybe go in a little bit more here. And then we will do one more. And we will change. We won't just use color to differentiate because I know that could be frustrating for people. We will give them letters and then we'll stop the stream. What was the other option? Oh, just going straight and then doing a right back. Okay. I'm going to put my lines in. This will be called Q. This will be W. And this will be E. Now I'm going to launch a poll. What profile? Q, W, E. There you go. Which of these profiles would you prefer? Whichever one you pick, I'm not going to try to bias this one. The Q was what was originally voted on just because I think it was, we were mostly voting on the front. So to understand if it's not the most preferred. The idea is that this extra space is where it holds the fuel and other things that aren't hidden from sight. And I did have one time where I had bunks that were really low. I used to live in a little place. I don't know if anyone remembers this. Probably not in this group because I used to stream on a Twitch thing and I showed it off one time. I had this itty bitty bed that it folded out of the wall and it was really low to the ground. And the worst part was when you lowered the bed, you couldn't fully open the door to the bathroom, so you were stuck fighting trying to get to the bathroom, and you had to like open it and like squeeze by it. So there was another bathroom, but it was you had to go outside, not outside, but it was much farther away and more noisy, and it would wake up lots of people to get to it because it was in the other bedroom. And when you had someone that needed to use that bed, it was like make sure you use your bathroom and everything before you go to bed, and don't get up in the middle of the night. Hmm. Well, it wasn't a. I guess it wasn't every bed, but it was on its side. Like it went like, shoop, shoop. It didn't go do do. It was more like a. It was part of the top bunk was inset, and the bottom bunk was not. So the bottom bunk would just fold down. It was its own thing. We have 5 votes. Yeah, it was like a train car bed. It was it was a I was staying in a camper for maybe 7 months, 8 months. That was a fun time, but also awful because it was in the middle of summer and I'm in South Carolina and the air conditioning was barely able to keep up and it was not the sun. And I realized how much I like air conditioning to actually work properly. I may enjoy the heat, but not that much heat. I was baking in a metal tube. And yet I still think I would do uh, I think there's only 5 viewers. There's 8 viewers. My bad. And so we have one of them is me, and so we have everyone except for one person, which is fine. I'm gonna end the poll, and it looks like E won with 80% of the votes, which is 4 votes to. Interestingly, Q got 0. No, Q got 20%. W got 0, and I don't blame you. W kind of looks like a weird. Me as Q. Um, Q is interesting in its own right. It has an interesting shape, but W, the more I look at it, the more I see some really weird cocktail shaker with a hollowed out bottom. E feels the closest to um, a mini Erebus, so we'll go with E. I think that's all I can do for today because I'm tired and it's 7:30. Sorry, it's 17:30. Um, I was tempted by W, but E won me over. I'm going to be doing more of these streams in the coming times. So Q is traveler scout ship triangular shape. Oh. Oh, yeah, it is. Didn't think about that. Um, I'm going to be doing more streams because I think it'd be helpful. It gets me my ideas across and gets to include you peoples. Thank you for your time. I don't really have anything else to end this on. So, save, and I guess that's it.